Hello Amazon shoppers. Today I have it's a very nice little speaker. It's a Bluetooth speaker. It just says it's a model C26 fashion Bluetooth speaker. Obviously you can see that this is black and orange in color, and it doesn't have any major information or anything provided on the box. So, kind of a basic box that just kind of gets the job done. It does come with a 3.5 millimeter headphone style jack auxiliary cable in the event you don't want to listen to Bluetooth, or if the battery happens to be too low to do so. You have your typical micro USB charging cable. I utilize the one for my Android phone instead, and you have your little user information guide, manual and whatnot. So I don't know what it means when it says precaution, and the first thing that it tells you is it is normal. It is a normal phenomenon that the speaker will have a bit fever when normally operated or charged. I have no clue what that means. I'm assuming they maybe are referring to the fact that in use it gets warm to the touch. That's my best guess, and I'm pretty sure that's probably what that means. But I've never heard it read it worded that way, so I just thought it was kind of interesting. You have the different layout of the speaker, which we'll get to in a moment. Pairing information and functions. When you long press the buttons, for the same buttons that you use for track and volume, when you long press it, that's how you turn down the volume or turn up the volume, and if you short press, of course, that's how you change tracks. You got the play and pause button, which obviously does playing and pausing, and you have different functionality with this included. Something that's also interesting, I mean, it has a microphone, so you can use it for phone calls and things of that nature. If you don't use it for anything for 10 minutes and it's not connected or doing anything, it can automatically shut off when not in use. So that's nice that it saves itself. It will give you LED indications during different changes of status and things. So it's just a nice little speaker. It also includes a flashlight, which is an interesting thing that not all of them actually do. So I think that's pretty cool. So the actual unit itself is all kind of made of a rubberized material, with exception to the speaker grill area, which is a hard plastic, and then you've got this orange piece that's actually rubberized, and the black that surrounds it's rubberized. You do have a little rubberized connection here that you can attach the included lanyard or a carabiner type style clip to. This was included in the box. I went ahead and attached it just for the sake of having it there, keeping up with it a little better. As far as the actual flashlight, that is there, and it's quite bright. If you tap it once, it turns it on. If you tap it a second time, it does nothing. You have to hold it down to turn it off, and in just a few seconds it turns off, just to let you know. On the back side, you have your auxiliary, your power, your on and off, and it's all covered by this little rubber flap that you peel back. Now it does have, but is not functional, a micro SD card slot. So either they have offered, will offer, or do offer in another model an actual option for SD card playback. This particular model does not. But the battery on this is a 2200 milliamp battery. That's pretty much a typical size, or somewhere in the neighborhood of a typical size of what you would find in a cell phone these days. So this being a rubberized cover like it is, and very easy with a little tab to open, as long as it's closed, splashes of water and things are not going to hurt. Submersion in water is not recommended for obvious reasons. It's not going to work after doing so. Now, as far as the there you go, the sound and everything, this thing sounds really nice. It gets fairly loud, and it actually gets loud enough that it'll vibrate and it'll slowly move itself. It actually started turning and rotating as it was playing a song. So course, you have your LED indicator here on the top, and on the buttons you have your flashlight button, your volume up and down, and your navigation tracks, you know, forward and back. You have your play and pause. You can also, of course, use that for your telephone calls if you want. The only thing that I had no luck with in using is the mute button. There's an actual M right here, and that's supposed to be a mute button. It gives you audible feedback, so it's clickable, so there's no fault in that. But during telephone use and through two different music applications, one the built-in to my HTC One M8 phone, and the other is Amazon Music, and the mute button did nothing. So I don't know if it's just non-functional on this unit or if it's certain programs that it may or may not function in. But the ones that I would use and do use and did use, it did not function. So I don't know if that's a fault or not, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Let's see, I was going to tell you on this. It does have a lack of information as far as, that was the thing I was going to say. Let's see, specifications here. Yeah, under specifications, typically you will find information about an expectation of runtime and charging time in some instances. This particular model under the specifications doesn't mention that. It does mention a 2200 milliamp battery, and it does say that it is a 4 ohm 5 watt 40 millimeter times 2 speaker setup with a signal to noise ratio of 85 decibels. Yeah, so I just thought it was kind of weird that it doesn't include the information. It does tell you about warranty and different functionality and whatnot, but it doesn't give you a real estimation, at least on the documentation here, on runtime. 2200 milliamp battery. If I had to guess, I don't know. I'm going to say you're probably going to get at least 6 to 8 hour, probably closer to 10-hour playback. That would be based off of knowledge of other batteries that are a little smaller than this. So this should get a minimum in that range, probably longer. You may get 12 hours, you may even get 16 hours. Standby time with this is probably going to be, I'd say, in the neighborhood of about 300, maybe 300 plus hours. So, like I said, unfortunately that information was not included, but that's a rough estimation, which I feel is fairly accurate. I'm probably underselling those values just a little, not by much, but just a little. But it has a nice weight to it and nice sound. So overall, I mean, it's really nice. I like using this with my phone, but I like it even better for using with the projector for playing around with movies and stuff. Like I said, it does vibrate and move just a little bit because of how loud it's capable of getting. The mute button doesn't work, but play and pause works fine for that purpose. So, I don't know. I just want to go over that with you. The addition of a flashlight is why it makes it nice to use for me for playback for movies and stuff, because I can turn this on without turning on a much brighter light and look at the remote control, or do things I need to do watching movies at night on the projector. So anyway, it's just a nice unit. Bluetooth works, everything works great, auxiliary and whatnot. Mute button's questionable, don't know what's going on with that. Don't really care, not something I would care to use. I would always play and pause or turn it off. So other than that, I mean, it's just a simple to use device that looks good and sounds good too. So that's it. It has a pretty good overall sound. It may or may not suit your needs. I don't know, what you're looking for or what your expectations are, but it does a fine job for me. I'm very happy with it. Okay, thanks for watching.